What if real power isn't in parliament, but in the streets? What if change doesn't come from laws, but from action? For syndicalists, the answer is clear. Workers don't need to vote for power, they already have it. They just need to use it. By the early 20th century, socialism had split. Reformists believed in gradual change, revolutionaries believed in seizing the state. Syndicalists rejected both paths. They argued parliament is too slow and the state is too corrupt. Instead, they turned to something more immediate, direct action. One of the most influential thinkers here was Georges Sorel. He introduced a provocative idea, that movements are driven not just by facts, but by myths. Not myths as falsehoods, but as powerful motivating visions. For syndicalists, the central myth was the general strike. The general strike is simple in concept. Workers across industries stop working, the economy grinds to a halt, power shifts from employers to workers. No need to take over the state, because the system itself stops functioning. It is both a strategy and a symbol. Syndicalism places labor unions at the center of society, not just as negotiators, but as organizers, decision makers, and foundations of a new social order. In this vision, workers control production directly, and society is organized through federations of unions. Unlike many socialist traditions, syndicalism is skeptical of abstract theory. It emphasizes practice over ideology and struggle over analysis. Change comes from strikes, boycotts, and collective disruption, not from waiting. Syndicalism embraces conflict. It sees class struggle not as something to avoid, but as something necessary. Through struggle, workers gain consciousness, solidarity strengthens, and power becomes visible. Conflict is not a breakdown, it is a catalyst. The autopsy begins with a key concern. Stopping the system is one thing, but what comes next? A general strike can disrupt power, but how is society reorganized afterward? Who coordinates production? Destruction does not automatically create structure. Strikes are powerful, but also costly. Workers risk income loss, repression, and burnout. Sustaining long-term action is difficult. Momentum can fade. Syndicalism centers industrial workers, but modern societies include service workers, informal labor, and unemployed populations. Not all groups are equally positioned to strike. This raises questions about who is included in the movement. Some strands of syndicalism accept or even embrace violence as a part of struggle. This creates risks, escalation, instability, and loss of legitimacy. The line between resistance and chaos can blur. Despite these challenges, syndicalism offers key insights. Power is material, it lies in control over production, not just institutions. Action matters, change requires pressure, not just ideas. Solidarity is built through shared struggle, not abstract agreement. Syndicalism reimagines the path to change, not through elections or state takeover, but through collective disruption and self-organization. It asks, what happens when workers simply refuse? What power emerges when the system stops? Syndicalism sits at a critical point. It excels at challenging existing systems, but struggles to define what replaces them. This tension remains unresolved. Syndicalism is a politics of action. It refuses to wait, it refuses to defer, it insists that power is already present, in the hands of those who keep society running. The question is not whether workers have powers, but whether they will use it. In the next episode, we shift focus from systems to the individual, exploring how thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Erich Fromm reimagined socialism as a question of human freedom, meaning and alienation.